Welcome to the Morning Minute. I want to accomplish three things today. One, go over our Instagram schedule. So we have Make It Happen Monday, Text a Friend Tuesday, What's Up Wednesday, Thriving Thursday, and Fun Photo Friday. Number two, I want to talk about today's Make It Happen Monday and what I'm doing for that. So for my Make It Happen Monday, I'm making a plan for how I'm going to seek Christ this week and sharing it with y'all. So some of that plan is I'm going to go to bed at 10:30 every night so that I can get up and do my quiet time and spend time in the Old Testament and Proverbs and the New Testament, and then praying for each of you. I keep all your names on a card here. All right, number three, I want to share some thoughts about my quiet time from this morning. So I looked in the Old Testament. I was going over some of the genealogies from Moab, and you know that Moab came from Lot, and Lot was a righteous man. It's just sad to think of how things slid from his righteousness to now a group of people who have these other gods. I looked at the tragic end of the life of Saul, and how he started off, but he had the fear of the people shared the throne of his heart, and eventually that caused his ruin. I looked at Proverbs, and I'll just read this. In Proverbs 30, surely I am more stupid than any man, and I do not have the understanding of a man. Neither have I learned wisdom, nor do I have knowledge of the Holy One. And he goes on from there, but how it highlights this most important thing, the source of knowledge and wisdom, is we need to know who our Creator is, because from that comes everything else. That's so fundamental to everything else in life, all our other decisions. And then I looked over later in that chapter. There are three things which are too wonderful for me, four which I do not understand: the way of an eagle in the sky, the way of a serpent on the rock, the way of a ship in the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. And I see from this a search for the proper harmony and relationship for a man's life with the world around us, with reality. How are we supposed to live? And I want to turn over to 2 Corinthians chapter 6. How are we supposed to live? And that in Proverbs, it's pointing us to the need for that fundamental understanding of the Holy One, of who God is, to rightly inform how we are to live. And here we see Paul writing in this letter to the Corinthians, chapter 6, starting in verse 11. His yearning that the Corinthians would come to this understanding, like to be rooted in it and not waver from it. Our mouth has spoken freely to you, O Corinthians. Our heart is open wide. You are not restrained by us, but you're restrained by your own affections. Now in a like exchange, I speak as to children. Open wide to us also. Do not be bound together with unbelievers. For what partnership have righteousness and lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? Or what harmony has Christ with Belial? Or what has a believer in common with an unbeliever? Or what agreement has the temple of God with idols? And if we are the temple of God, what are we bringing in to our hearts as that fundamental thing that's governing how we live our lives? I will dwell in the... Oh, let me go back here. Or what agreement has the temple of God with idols? For we are the temple of the living God, just as God said, I will dwell in them and walk among them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Therefore come out from their midst, and be separate, says the Lord, and do not touch what is unclean, and I will welcome you, and I will be a father to you, and you shall be sons and daughters to me, says the Lord Almighty. Well, that's just a little bit of what I read this morning. I hope it's encouraging to you. What is your plan for Make It Happen Monday? And remember to be active in the fellowship of your faith, and I will see you tomorrow on the next Morning Minute or so.